It's booting up. And we're live. There we go. G'day, guys. Welcome to the weekend. Catch you next time.
We're out. Nah.
Anyway, enjoy finals. Oh. So I guess we'll start with your tips because it's really interesting, especially with all the margin stuff.
The adventure that is my tipping comp.
Yeah, like I'm actually following it with great interest. Like,
So am I.
But
It's
yeah.
literally the only thing that's got me excited for the season still.
But like the whole margin thing is where it gets me. Like the NRL is one of those sports where tipping is bad enough because upsets happen a lot. You get a lot of those 50-50 games, but then you're
Yep.
putting margins as well.
On every game. Literally
Yeah,
every game.
Like, nah. I'm like, no thank you. I'll pass.
Like other tipping comps like Sportsbet and even the NRL tipping app, they all get you to tip a margin for one game, which is like a tiebreaker for overall ties in correct tips. But no, here I am tipping individual margins for every bloody game.
That makes sense though, because you can separate everyone then.
Oh yeah, especially because of the bonus points and how they can be narrowed down to like 0.25 of a point. And then you've got like the 0.33 is probably the one that separates people the most because it's a very odd number, which is why I sent you the picture earlier, I believe. First place is like, what was it? 171.99. What it was? Yeah, so first place is 171.99. Second place is 171.91. So it's bloody close between the two of them.
Hey Ash.
And I'm back there in third at 170.49. So I'm a point and a half behind first.
And that's gettable. Very, very good. With most of this round to go, we've had 3 games.
Yep.
First 5 left, and then finals.
Tipped. Yep. First and second both tipped the Raiders, which means they are out of the running for a perfect round. I still am in the running for the perfect round, and if I get it, that's a bonus 2 points. So if I'm within touching distance, I can go top of the table with finals left to play.
How'd you go tipping our game last night?
I said 16. So I was looking all right, but then they kind of pulled away towards the end there.
Yeah, it got really clinical at the end there.
Yeah.
You could see they were running through plays. It was like a training run. And then
before the team lists were announced, I was looking at Panthers by maybe like 4 to 6 because I knew the Eels would come out firing after the win against the Storm. But then I saw that players were being rested and like no Mitch Moses, no Clint Gutherson. Like, why did they do that is my question. But because they did that, I increased the margin by like 2 tries or almost 2 tries or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure why they did it.
Away in the end.
I know we have had players miss a lot since Origin, so that's why we have full strength.
Yeah, like you had no reason to rest players. Like Nathan's only just recently come back from his injury, so he's still finding his best form. You had Yo and Fish out recently. Pangai spent a bit of time suspended as well, so he's ready to fit and firing for the finals.
Yeah, they needed combinations, and that's why last night was a training run. Because, it's like they played. I think it was mentioned in commentary last night. That's the 8th game we've had a full strength spine actually play together on the field at the same time all year.
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's why everybody's like, "Oh my god, why are you playing a full strength team when everyone's resting?" And we're like, "You do realize we're about to play finals against top 4 teams with no combinations?" Like, and that's why last night happened. And you could see they were running plays. You see the same sort of structures go like 2-3 times in a row. Like, for example, that the scrum play they were doing. And it's like, it's because they need that practice for finals. Whereas, I mean, the Eels, you could probably get away with it. They just beat the Storm. They're confident in their structures and their top 17. I mean, the Storm are minor premiers. They're confident too.
Exactly. So I saw the score was 12-6 at halftime. What did you think of the first half? Because it was obviously a lot closer than the final score ended up being.
I just thought it was the Eels they're really enthusiastic. It was an energy and effort thing keeping them in the game. And their kicking game was really good. They executed their like fifth tackle stuff really well. So congrats to them for that. I think they deserve a lot of credit for that. But you could see Penrith were just working themselves into the game. And
Yeah, and then they
as
found their form in the
fatigue
second half.
and Penrith got just that little bit, you could see it over the game if you ever decide to go back and watch it out of boredom or whatever. I usually watch our games twice, but if you go back and watch it, you can see them just slowly gel a little bit better with the combinations. And in the second half, when fatigue was a thing, it was just too much for them. You can see it was a reserve grade side versus a top 4 team who was in their stride.
Yep. Yeah, I'll forever question Parramatta's decision to rest players because now they've got a cutthroat elimination final against the Knights.
I
So
think they might have been avoiding the Storm, honestly.
you reckon? You
I
think they
don't know.
wanted to lose?
I'm not sure they wanted to lose. It was one of two things. Either they didn't want to play the Storm in week 1, which I find a bit or, as I said before, they were confident after actually beating the Storm the other week. So Brad Arthur's like, sweet, we're where we want to be. We're going to rest our top players and have them fresh to make a run through the finals.
I suppose so. I just would
Because I
have
think,
figured they'd
don't
like
Manly have
the.
to lose for them to be 4th?
What was that?
Don't Manly have to lose for them to be 4th?
Who to be fourth?
The Eels.
No, the Eels are locked into 6th now. I think.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I mean,
So
if
it's
they
going to
won.
be.
So if the Eels won last night.
Yeah, if the Eels won last night, then the Manly still would have had to lose, and they've
Yeah.
got the Cowboys today.
So I think it's more a case of that's not very likely.
Yeah, probably.
So I think they get more out of resting because they're going to have to go 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah, whereas you guys now you've got the potential of having a week off before a
Yeah, so if
prelim.
we beat South, we get a week off anyway.
Yeah, which
Like,
actually kind of worries me a little bit with your team gelling going into the prelim, with how much your team has played together. I'm not sure if having the week off is going to benefit your team as much as it did last year with like combinations and stuff. And your most likely opponent for that prelim is going to be Manly.
yeah, which I'm looking forward to because we beat them with Turbo.
Mm.
So yeah, it just comes down to those combinations, where that week off hurts them, like you're saying there, and which is why we played this week. I think having this week, sort of last week against you, then the Eels this week, then week 1, it's like a good step up each week. And then the week off, they can then go away and work on whatever lessons they've learned through those 3 games.
Yeah. I think everyone's saying you're going to be beating the Bunnies. Like no Latrell, they're in a world of trouble without him. So
Yeah, and I think it
you
was
should have a relatively
Knight?
easy week 1.
Yeah. So I think they lost Knight as well.
Yeah, for 2 weeks, I think it was.
So they'll be missing 2 from the top 17. So I think that just hurts them too much.
Yeah.
That's why everyone's saying, Latrell sort of stuffed them with that, which I feel for South fans, but there's not much you can do. He did it.
Who's going to finish 8th, Ash? I notice you put your finals matchups there. Yeah. 3 of them are pretty much set in stone now. It's just a matter of, 2 of them are set in stone. The third one will be decided today, and the fourth one will be decided tomorrow.
I think you'll find Titans.
Titans have a lot more to play for now. Yeah. Like
Yeah, I think.
they know they have to win by such and such margin, which is going to be
Yeah,
12 points.
yeah,
And if they
exactly.
do that,
They have
they
to
play
win and win
finals.
by X amount, and that's going to be a great motivating factor against the team who's in 11th.
Yeah.
So I think they can do it.
They probably will. I think knowing what's there, knowing that motivation. But the problem that presents is if they try and get too fancy with it too early, they might cause themselves to struggle a bit more than they're intending to. Like if they get too fancy and try to throw it around really early on instead of sticking to the structures, they could find themselves really behind the 8 ball and having to play catch up.
Yeah, well,
Because
that'll be on
a
Justin
1 point
won't it?
win's no good. Yeah, a 1 point win's no good for them. They have to win and win well.
Yeah. So where's the for and against? Because they're on -47.
Yep,
Sharks are at -36,
yep. So that's
and the
11
Raiders
points
are at minus
difference.
97. So they've got to make up 11 points to
Yeah.
jump the Sharks.
If they win by exactly 11, then it's percentage of
Yeah.
points.
So no field goal.
Um,
You've got to win by 12.
yeah, 12 will nail
That's
it for them.
perfectly doable for them. That's 2 converted tries.
Yeah, exactly. What did I even tip them by? Change my tip now. I said Titans by 8. Okay, I'm probably have to look at changing that.
Well, yeah, if they win, it's got to be by more. So
Yeah,
I'd say they won't or will do it.
it depends on how spirited a fight the Warriors put up, which they have done a lot lately. So
Yeah.
it really is a game that could go either way. The Warriors could play party poopers one last time for the season. Um,
Well,
yeah,
they haven't been
big
horrible
game,
by any means.
big game coming up.
Yeah, on the NRL tipping, I have tipped the Titans, so we'll see how we go. Oh, I'm going to be worried about that game now.
Yeah, Curtis Sirenin off to Super League. I saw that. When did I see that? Was it earlier today? I think I saw it earlier today. Disappointing. Sad to see a Tigers junior head off to the Super League. I thought the Tigers might have made a play for him to come back, but it would appear not.
Yeah, that great Super League in the sky.
But I hope he finds success with St. Helens. Good luck to him.
Yeah, hopefully. A few have gone over there and been really well. You're getting Hastings next year, who, by all accounts, has been really good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Hastings and his season over there so far. Gildart is a bit of a power forward, a power pusher in the centres. So he scored a try in the last game they played over Castleford, which was pretty much like a barge over try or something like that, from what I heard. So
Yeah.
pushed one aside and over he went. But obviously, we know the Super League is a game that's much more focused on attack than it is on defense. So
Yeah.
going from an attack-centered Super League to a defense-centered NRL even though the Tigers aren't exactly defence centred. But there will be some adjustments there, but they'll have the whole preseason to sort it out.
Yeah.
Obviously, Hastings is probably going to start in the halves with Brooks, at least until Dewey
Yeah, well,
returns.
he's going to have to for a few games at least. Because that ACL is going to take a long time.
Yeah, lucky it's only a partial tear instead of a full rupture, so hopefully not as long recovery-wise. Ash, you don't have to look too far. There are about 1 billion articles of players that are still playing that used to play for the Tigers.
Oh, they love those ones. It's the media's favorite. Oh my god, look at the Tigers are a shambles because literally everyone in the NRL's played for them at one point or another, or wanted to, and then they didn't get them or something.
Yeah, like here's the best 17 of players Tigers tried to sign but failed, or here's the best 17 of players the Tigers let get away, and every one of them is soul wrenching to Tigers fans. I'm sick of seeing them. It's just they're not fun to read because obviously they've almost all got
Yeah.
Tedesco.
So I did a Google
They've
search.
almost all got Pappenhausen. They've almost all got.
Yeah, like I just did a quick Google search straight away. First option is 17 best players the Tigers have let go over the last decade.
Yeah, Marty Tapau's on a lot of them. I mean, some of them we've been forced to let go. Others, the ones that annoy me the most are the ones that have Harry Grant on them. But Harry Grant was never a Tiger. He was a
No.
Storm player loaned to the Tigers. So you can't include him on any of those. Like, we didn't let him go. He came to us for 1 year and was always heading back after that 1 year. it's stupid.
Yeah, very much so. Like that's a weird one for me how people do that. All right, I will. Where are we? Get the screen share up actually on Discord.
Jeremy Marshall played 1 game for the Tigers. Was Tigers v Warriors at Leichhardt, the final round of the 8th season? 17, 18, one or the other. That was, his one and only game for the Tigers, NRL debut, and then off he goes.
Yes, I've just got the article up. ZeroTackle.com, the 17 best players Tigers have let go. I'll pull it up on screen. Should be a fun little thing since Ash wants to have a look. Like I said, it took me 2 seconds to just
Doesn't take you long to find one.
It's literally like right in your face. They don't hide it at all. Alright, let's pull this up. There, you'll see it there now. It should be on screen any second. At 17 is Junior Totola. Similar to Martin, Totola has never managed to make his debut at the club, but won't they be regretting that now? Like straight away, you got a guy who never actually technically played a game for the Tigers.
Yeah, they don't have to reach too far into the barrel, do they?
Yeah. Like so many players go from club to club at that lower level. It's ridiculous. Like if you went through it, there'd be so many. It would take you hours upon hours. You get a couple of days worth of out of it.
Well, I mean, we've had, I think 250 odd players play for the Tigers now. Whoever our most recent debutant was, I think they're like 250 something.
Yeah.
Power. Look up
After failing,
recent Tiger.
yes, this is what it says here. After failing to get a crack at the top grade, despite strong form in the lower grades and featuring for the junior Kiwis, Totola signed a 1-year deal with the Rabbitohs. He made his debut in round 1, 2018, and has since played 31 games as a starting front rower this year alone. He's making 110 meters and 22 tackles a game at over 95% efficiency. So, like, there's nothing to say he couldn't have stayed at the Tigers. Like, there's no context here around did the Tigers actually want to keep him? Did he just really want to go play for South because, well, they're South and they're a top team? High profile stuff. Like, there's no context at all. As I said, at that lower grade, players swap and change all the time. Like Senior, who debuted for you guys this year, he was at Penrith. I guess we regret letting him go now.
Yeah, just like Pappenhausen never actually played first grade for the Tigers. Really just like our Holden Cup fullback, and off he goes to the Storm. I think it was at the same time that Adokar did.
And the Storm didn't want him at one point. They offered him around to
No.
everyone. So are the
Yeah, look
Storm
at him now.
stupid?
Okay, no, I was wrong. Kelma Tuolangi, number 249. So our
Oh.
next debutant will be number 250.
Very close.
I would also like to point out that one of my favorite things about the West Tigers player numbers is player number 1, Joel Kane, the sports bet guy.
Oh, God.
The sports bet guy is literally Tigers player number 1 because he was the Tigers fullback in round 1, 2000.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
Tiger
The
responsibly.
the sports bet NRL guy was West Tigers player number 1.
Oh, my God. West Tigers responsibly.
And Jeremy Marshall King, just confirm what year it was. Him. Player number 208. Yep, round 26, 2017. Geez, there's been some names in here that I kind of wish didn't play for the club.
Yeah.
Like Matt Ballon, we got nothing out of him. Jamal Idris, we got nothing out of him. Robbie Rocco, got barely anything out of him. Same with Chris McQueen.
Yeah.
Kyle Lovett, he was just no. Matt Lodge.
Oh, he was horrible back then.
Oh, yeah. I like that Luke Brooks debuted for the Tigers before Matt Lodge.
Oh, he's been around longer than you realize.
David Nofaluma, just before Brooks as well.
Oh, nice.
David Nofaluma is 164, Brooks is 167. Both the same season. 2013. Noffa round 10, Brooks round 24.
Oh, there you go. Oh, 16 on this list is James Gavitt. Gavitt and Tapau were known as the Hair Bros when they were playing off the bench for the Tigers, with both props injecting the side with brute strength and energy when thrown into the contest. However, despite becoming somewhat of a cult figure, Gavitt was released to join the Brisbane Broncos, and he's since jumped around clubs including the Warriors and now Newcastle, and has also played 2 games for Samoa. So you're telling me a guy who can't consistently play for one club was a shock to leave the club?
We're only 2 players in, and I'm really not confident that this is the best list ever.
No, this isn't a great list. This is horrible. Like, there's so many better lists you could do for pretty much any club than this crap. Like, that's... Who wrote this? Jack Blythe, staff writer at Zero Tackle.
He's the one I pointed out to you. He was the one who's that Twitter post a couple of weeks ago about last finals appearance for every club. He was also the one who I sent in the preseason that had Tigers for the wooden spoon on his ladder prediction. So he seems to enjoy writing things about the Tigers. Blighty.
Now it all becomes so clear.
The thought plickens.
Where did the Tigers touch you? Show us on this doll.
I'm gonna quickly look him up on Twitter, see if he supports a team. Take your guesses.
If he hates the Tigers, and it's
Exposure dollars for whoever gets the best guess of who he supports.
yeah. I don't know. Any teams that particularly hate you? Like, it's not a Panthers thing because we're more like a rivalry, beat you on the field thing. I don't know. I'm gonna put my money on like Eels.
Okay, well he
Ash said
doesn't
Storm.
have a team in his little bio, but he has a location where he lives. So if we can go by that, and if that's the case, then he's a Knights fan.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
he's based in Newey. So if
He supports that local team. Interesting. Maybe it's just hate clicks.
maybe,
Just farming West Tigers.
like I said, he was the one who posted his ladder predictor on Zero Tackle. How how we were supposed to be the wooden spooners this year.
Well, he's already wrong with that. The Dogs locked that up nice and early.
Oh yeah, they almost had that from the get go. Even I overestimated the Dogs.
Congrats, Trent Barrett, the attacking master coach. Who we got at 15? Chris Hyington. Premiership winner for the Tigers, Hyington played 201 NRL games for the side, which at the time was a record for most appearances for the West Tigers. However, the look forward stating, if the coach doesn't want you, he doesn't want you. He signed with Cronulla and then went on to win in the second NRL Premiership in 2016 before finishing his career at Newcastle as a 338-game veteran. I mean, he played 200 games for the club. Is that really an issue? Like, it's not, and he won a premiership for them.
Are we purely basing who plays for the club off of how many games they play? Which clearly we're not, because the first two players on this list don't reflect that whatsoever.
But like, it's not as though he didn't get a fair go at the club.
No.
So this is the 17 best players the Tigers have let go over the last decade. Like, I mean, I guess technically that counts. But like, it's not like they're going to regret that.
I can already think of like 5 players who'd make better 16s or 17s than both of the two that were mentioned that played for the Tigers that could be on this list instead. It's really not difficult.
Yeah.
But I'm very curious to see how the rest of this list shapes up. I had the Dogs for 12th, Ash, so I wasn't as far off, but still further off than I expected. Hi, National Sports loaded.
I don't know what you're talking about, bruh. Looks fun to me. It should be edited now and fixed up.
Oh yeah, same as last. Not updated from last week. Easy mistake.
Yeah. Just showing my age. Bit of a boomer with this technology stuff. I just press the buttons and hope for the best.
Feeling the full force of tomorrow being Father's Day.
Oh. It's actually kind of annoying with all this stupid lockdown stuff because my father lives in Victoria.
Do you and your family and your kids normally do anything for Father's Day?
Yeah, little bits and pieces. Nothing too dramatic, but just a little bit. Worst part is my father-in-law lives 2 minutes up the road. Literally takes about that long to drive there, and we can't go there, so the wife can see her dad.
Yeah,
Like, this is all so garbage.
it's a little bit disappointing, but hopefully out of this mess sooner rather than later.
Yeah, hopefully. I think the vaccine numbers are getting up there, so hopefully we can just get back to normal soon.
Yeah, there's going to be a pop-up clinic in Orange this coming week, so I might head along
Oh,
and get
nice.
my first dose.
Yeah.
All right, there's Ash's list. Chetty, Pappenhausen on wing, eh? Momirovsky, Sully. I will debate Sully. Yeah, he's turned
Nah.
out all right at Manly, but the Tigers had no choice but to let him go.
Yeah,
He
there were
just
issues.
disciplinary. Yeah, like disciplinary, he just wasn't up to it. He rocked up to a preseason drastically over the weight he was supposed to. He barely showed up for training. He had no energy. Um, Fox, Benji, Moses. Yeah, I don't know about Moses either, honestly. Um, he the way he left, the way he got out of his contract, I'm not a fan of. Tapau, Jeremy Marshall King, Woods, Madison. Yeah,
It's
Madison's
still
similar
probably
to
a better
Moses.
list than what we've seen.
It is a better list than what we've seen.
So,
Siren and
so we're getting
Sue,
better.
Aloye, Eisenhuth, other Sirenin, and Lodge.
Again, Lodge one was at the time. That's a big no.
Yeah, he hasn't even been playing that well recently, so it's a better list than what we've seen. Yeah, of current players left, but I probably wouldn't have Lodge there, to be honest. Maybe someone else. I'd probably also swap out Sully for Kev Nagama. He's
Yeah.
technically not playing NRL, but he is technically still playing. He's over in the Super League and he'll be back in Australia next year. So I'd have him instead of Sully, personally. But yeah, still a good list.
Yeah, see, this article here, he says, while fans are quick to point the finger and lay blame on different figures within the club, there's 7 straight years of bottom 8 finishes come down to one single factor: retention. So this is actually from 2019. So this is the list they're doing to essentially lay blame on their lack of success on their recruitment and retention.
This is from 2019. That's while Ivan was with us, I think. Wait, was Ivan
No,
2019?
2019 was the year after, so it was Madge's first year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, 19 was Ivan's first year with you guys, and you came.
Yep.
What was it? 11.
2018, Ivan had a half decent year with you guys, came over to us, all the drama, everyone kicking and screaming over that.
What date in 2019? Was there a date?
October, so the end of the year.
Okay.
So that's around the grand
After we
final.
lost to the Sharks, yeah, and that happened.
Oh, that was so annoying. That was pretty sure the year I made a video and then they went and lost to the Sharks.
Yeah, you made that video as well of here's why the Tigers are going to play finals this year.
Fuckers.
I'm watching
They
that
keep
after the fact.
screwing me over. I keep giving you love and faith, and what do I get in return?
Now, how do you think it feels to be one of their fans?
Oh my god, you poor people. Oh. But to be fair, I do think if Laurie doesn't get injured, you play finals this year.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I'm actually very confident in that. There's a couple of games there going to those last few weeks where if he's there, you're worth a few extra points and probably wins.
I honestly reckon with Laurie and Dewey, the way you guys played last week, we might have even been a chance against you guys.
Yeah, like
'Cause
look
you
at all the
clearly,
errors. We had like 18 errors.
you clearly weren't at your best. If we have those two players in our spine still there, we 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 take you guys all the way at the very least.
Yeah, you make a game of it. But I mean, you only needed one more win outside of our game anyway, really. Maybe two.
Well, yeah, we needed two because our for and against is disgraceful. We pretty much needed the Warriors and the Sharks, or even going back then to the Rabbits Golden Point loss.
I think it's one of those years that show you're kind of almost there. That what Madge is doing is all right. As I've said
Yeah, then
100
there are
times
all the
before.
articles about the internal review and all that sort of crap going around now.
It's a load of crap. I wouldn't be changing what Madge is doing. That next year's that first year without all the salary cap baggage, so to speak.
Just need to fix the defense. Honestly, the defense needs to be fixed, but I think the rules changing has been a factor because it's opened up pretty much all the games. If you compare the average points conceded per game for
Yeah, it's
pretty much
grown.
all teams, you'd say at least half of them would have gotten worse defensively from 2019 to 2021, purely because of the rule changes with the six again, and how they increased how that's been used this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughts
A
on
lot of
Packer
people,
retiring?
I said in another Discord server that I'm in that I hope it wasn't forced on him because I don't think he deserves to be forced into a retirement, but it probably is the best decision for him because I don't see him getting a contract offer anywhere else.
Yeah.
And his injuries, they've just stopped him from playing too much for us in recent times. What saddens me though is the comments on posts on Twitter and stuff where people can't be civil and celebrate a career coming to an end as opposed to bagging him out for being basically a garbage signing.
Yeah.
So I wish him the best in retirement and whatever he does next. But it's probably a very good thing that he's no longer at the club, and it does free up a buttload of money for next year as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hopefully all the best to him, but it is a good thing for the Tigers because they're going to need that money.
Yep, the only dud money that we'll still have on the books next year will be the percentage of Mbai's salary that we pay. That'll be all we have, and I think that's 350,000.
Are you paying anything for him? Because he seemed pretty happy to move on.
He's still under contract for next year, so yeah, we are. The Dragons are pitching in, I think, like 550 or something, and we're pitching in the other 350.
Fair enough.
I don't remember the exact numbers, but it's somewhere around there. Like
Still,
it's not an even 400
an
split.
entire. Yeah, 500,000 is like an entire player.
Exactly.
So if the Dragons are taking that off, yeah. You think
So
John
it's not
Asiata
too
would join the
bad.
Tigers? Hey,
So yeah, so it's not too bad. Like out of what's the salary cap? Is it 9.1 or 9.4?
yeah, it's around.
To only have like 350,000 odd of that on a player that's not playing for us is best salary cap position we'll have been in for a bloody while.
Yeah. But don't worry, we'll get more articles over the off season about how doomed you are.
They're coming. They'll be coming.
Death taxes and riding the Tigers into the ground.
Yep, they've got another whole 7 months to do it before we play another game. after this weekend.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny, the two teams I was absolutely sure would make the 8 were the Titans and the Tigers. Oh.
Yeah, I had them in 7th and 8th as well.
Yeah, I thought they were going to take up those as well. And I thought the Dogs would be better without necessarily making the 8.
Won't be too bad if the Titans end up finishing 8th after all.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. You know,
How about you,
it'd be good.
NSL? We asked Ash earlier, who do you think's going to finish 8th? The Titans have to win by 12. If they do, they'll play finals. So what do you reckon? Are they going to do it or are they going to fall short?
How do you think Mad Monday will go? Oh, he thinks the Sharks will get in. There you go. He's not backing the Titans to win by 12.
I don't know. Mad Monday is just...
It's an odd question.
It's not going to
because
be much of a Mad Monday because I'm pretty sure they're all still going to be in their bubbles. I don't think they're going to be going back to New South Wales just yet.
I'm not reading that one aloud.
It's going to be a very weird off season for the players because they can't exactly go anywhere.
Yeah, well, it's going to be
Especially
one of
the
those times when I
New
guess
South
in
Wales
Queensland
based
they can do
players.
stuff, but once the season's over, do they come back to New South Wales and they're locked down?
Exactly. How long are they going to stay up there for?
So, I mean, I guess they can have Mad Monday at home by themselves, but how much fun's that going to be?
And also, when it comes to like preseason or getting closer to preseason, they'll have to go back into the bubble again, like 2 weeks or whatever before the preseason training starts. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a strange off season because obviously they can't do too much and they can't do too, even if they could do stuff, they can't for very long because the teams that don't make the 8 will come back for training in November at some point, I think.
Yeah, they get 6 weeks off.
Yeah, so they get 4 weeks of freedom to sit in their homes and do nothing, before having to go back into quote unquote bubble conditions for preseason training again.
The way that they signed for Feeder peed me off. I don't understand. They saw that he was a top line player worth money and they offered him big money.
Yeah, could say the same about Tino.
I mean, I don't understand how that would be a problem. It's just that's how they decided to manage their cap. They essentially went all in on their forward pack. They did a reverse Dogs. If you put the two together, you'd actually have a decent team. Number 14 on our Tigers list is Tamir Martin. Martin never played an NRL game for the Tigers, though he dominated for their Holden Cup side. He spent the 2014 and 15 seasons with the club's under 20 side, being named in the Holden Cup Team of the Year in both seasons at 5'8". However, the club decided to let go of Martin, already having Brooks and Moses in their squad. You've just explained it there. Like, what are you going to do? You can't have 3 halves. Not that talented, at least. I mean,
He's
that's
not much
entirely
of
what the
a...
salary cap is designed to do. It's supposed to make sure you can't hoard players.
Tamari Martin was never much of a utility player, was he?
Not particularly. He was always a half.
Hasn't he also been forced into retirement recently?
Yeah, through health issues.
I thought so.
So he had some stuff going on with his brain and that. It was, yeah, really awkward. Really felt sorry for him.
Oh, was he the player who had the bleed in the brain? I think it was.
Yes, that was him.
Yeah, that was when that was announced. It was pretty scary.
So yeah, that'd be terrifying. But see, even if all the others you can sort of argue, oh yeah, maybe they should have kept them. They couldn't keep him. Like that's not a choice. "13, Nathan Brown." I didn't even realize he was a Tiger. There you go.
He was. He was Tiger number. I saw his name earlier.
So he made his debut late in the 2013 season after working his way up through the West lower grades. While he impressed in his first game, second tier salary cap restrictions stopped him from playing more than the one game that year. However, despite the Tigers' poor form in 2014, Brown failed to get a look in all that season, eventually being released to South.
Yeah, here it is, literally here. He debuted the same game as Brooks, and that was his one and only game for the club. So Brooks was number 167, Brown was 168.
Oh, there you go. As they said, it was the lower tier salary cap that meant he couldn't play again that year.
And just the situation that we had with Little in, I think it was 2018. He made his debut against the Dogs, and he had to get a special exemption to play for us in that one, I'm pretty sure. He scored a try on debut against the Dogs too. We ended up losing, but anyway. Is he? 2016. That was my first year as a member. Yeah, so he made his debut round 18, 2016. It was the only game he played that year because, yeah, he had to get a special exemption to play.
Huh. Oh, there you go. 12 is Curtis Sirinen.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised by that. He was one that like I said before, I'm very surprised we didn't offer him to come back because I'd honestly take him.
There you go.
I'd
He's probably
definitely
the
take
best
him
one
back
on the
at the
list
club.
so far.
Yeah, he is the best one on the list so far, without a doubt.
There you go. You struck gold, Jack. You're doing well. Love your work.
Yeah, one out of, is this number 6?
We're looking at Don Bradman's strike rates here. Muddy to power. Should have seen that coming.
Yeah, that was coming a mile away.
I think every list has to have him on it.
But I'm surprised they've got him in the second row instead of prop.
Yeah, he's at 11.
Interesting choice. I agree with him being on the list, but I would have thought he'd be number 10, not number 11.
Yeah, put him in the front row. One of the most dominant forwards in the competition on his day. Tapau has quite the highlights reel in his time playing for West. Of course, there's that fend on poor old Alex Johnston, plus a stack of others who wanted to make his his debut for New Zealand. So an immediate release to Manly came with Tapau, desperate to get out of the club and earn an English language is difficult. I'm going to switch to like Russian or something. So yeah, he wanted a release to get more money.
The problem with Tapau when he was a Tiger was that he spent a lot more time on the sidelines than he spent playing. He was suspended so freaking often.
Like yes, he deserves to be on the list, but at the same time, that's not their thesis. It's supposed to be players they've let go, which is based around their retention affecting their success. Whoever's doing the recruitment and retention has no control over that. He wanted out to get more money.
Ooh.
Like, you can't fix that.
Tapau's coming up to game 200.
He's getting
He's
old.
he's 3 games away. So either in a semi-final or a prelim final, he's playing game 200.
You'll play it against us or something.
Well, he'd have to be rested either this week or next week, I think, because the 198 today against the Cows, 199 finals week 1 against the Storm. 200 will be, depending on win or lose, a semi or a prelim.
Hmm.
And the semi, if they finish 4th, be against probably the Roosters, because I'd see the Roosters beating whoever finishes 8th out of the Sharks or
Easily.
Titans.
Let's see. Maybe he's put him at 11 because there's 2 really good props that kind of had to fit them all in or something.
Okay, well, at least one of these props is going to have to absolutely blow me away. Given this list so far, I don't have high hope of that.
Andrew Fafita's at 10. So
Okay, that doesn't blow me away. No Fafita.
I mean, yeah, I guess he deserves to kind of be there. I mean, he's gone downhill recently, but he was one of the better forwards in the game for a few years there.
My money's on number 8 being Aaron Woods. I have a feeling that's where this list is going.
There you go. Apparently, according to this at least, you might know different, but they're saying they let him go so they can keep Adam Blair.
Yeah, look how that worked out for us.
Brilliant. That is actually retention nonsense. That is garbage.
Probably thank Potter for that decision. I'd say that was probably Potter over Taylor. I don't remember when Jason Taylor came to the club. Maybe it was Mick Potter. I don't even know.
Oh, there you go. Robbie Farah on the list.
The prodigal son.
I mean, he basically played like 600 something games for you guys, so.
Disappointed this article didn't use the photo of him on the scoreboard.
Like,
you let me down, Blythe.
You guys, what are you doing?
You've really let me down, Blythe.
Like, you can really set that sort of sad Tigers tone with that picture. Like, you just let us down.
But yeah,
So
I
that
can
was
definitely
Jason
agree with
Taylor,
Robbie being on the list.
2016, apparently.
Yeah, Taylor. No Tigers fan likes Taylor. Not a single one. Like he ran us into the ground, literally.
Yeah, a lot
And
of people have things to say about
fiasco with
Ivan,
Robbie.
but man, that his time at the club, I would say, was worse than Ivan.
That fiasco with Robbie, absolutely the worst thing that's happened at this club. And the fact that Pascoe allowed it and is still there.
Well, yeah, that sort of helped build this culture that's in there now of just, ugh. It's like there's, some kind of weird vibe in the club at the moment.
Like any review into the club needs to result in Hadjipantelis and Pascoe no longer being in charge. If they still are after any sort of review, then the review has not done its job.
We have investigated ourselves and found that we have done nothing wrong.
Just use another coach as a scapegoat.
Yeah. Oh man,
another
sorry,
player
we're
as
gonna have to
another
go a different direction. Meanwhile, whenever they actually play to their structures, they're really, really good.
Yeah, we just sadly don't see it often enough.
Yeah, they just break away from it too much. Lose their heads a bit. Who the other prop is? Actually, really curious. Aaron Woods.
Where's my money? I called it.
Pay the man.
Everyone in the stream owes me $100.
This is one of those ones that's yes and no. By the time his Tigers time was coming to an end, and then after that, it was a massive dip in form and sort of public perception of him.
Because the whole thing with that was, so the whole thing with that was he was the club captain and he abandoned the club. That's kind of where the
did he do an interview when he's like,
there.
he wanted to play finals or some such thing?
He did.
And it's like, I don't care who's doing the recruitment and retention. You can't fix that. It's the guy who just wants to leave for the sake of leaving.
Ironically, he went to the Dogs to go play finals football. That worked out spectacularly for you, didn't it, Woodsy?
Dig up, stupid. But that's what's like. You can't really blame the recruitment and retention for that part. That's just, I want to leave because I want to leave. I'll go anywhere that's not this place. What can you do?
I'm the club captain, and I'm the club captain, and I'm going to abandon the club.
And then there was that talk of him coming back, and everyone's like, "No, thank you, get fucked."
Yeah, I'm one of those people. Just nah. I mean, he's open to coming back. Like he said in he said it in, but he's open to coming back. And I'm like, okay, so you're open to coming back to a club you left to play finals that hasn't played finals since you left. That just
And now that
something
you're
doesn't
for more
sound
pay,
right. Yeah,
he's like, I need a contract so I can make some money. Please
he's gone and had 2 kids.
Yeah. But as I said, you can't really go after the retention for that one because no matter what they did, they probably couldn't have kept him.
Because he left at the same time as Tedesco. I'm pretty sure they have the same manager.
Yeah,
and that manager doomed the Tigers by.
Yeah, it's like this is a player manager doing his thing to get more money, basically, because he would have got a nice payday from the players signing elsewhere.
Yeah,
some of the new contracts they get a percentage. And it's like, I mean, it's not, they didn't release him to make way for another player. They didn't try and undercut him with pay. There was none of that crap. Oh, and at 7 they got Mitchell Moses. Mr. I'm going to allegedly, according to the online discourse, people say that he threw his last games to get out.
Well, he pretty much did. He started playing crap, so we'd release him. And the club didn't have the balls to make him play reserve grade. They just effed him off.
I mean,
that's the thing with the club. They really should have sent him to reserve grade.
I would have done that, but I guess there is a case to be made that you don't want a guy hanging around the rest of the roster causing problems.
The other problem is the media were the other problem is the media were ripping into us for supposedly a player welfare angle because he wasn't happy there.
Yeah,
but that's the thing with the Tigers. Like they rip into us if we do keep the player there, and they rip into us if we let the player go.
So that's what you'll learn about the NRL media. You can't win either way.
Yeah.
As long as they can make something sound dramatic.
Madison. They ripped into us for letting Madison leave after ripping into us for forcing Madison to stay. Like we caught both ends of it with Madison.
Yeah, it's a no-win situation with the media. Because they only just care about making drama. That's all it is. There's nothing worth taking out of it. Like I said, I mean, how is this a recruitment blunder? Like they didn't. Again, it was him saying, I want away from the Tigers. It's like a breakup. It's like it's not me. It's not you. It's me. It's not me. It's you. Goodbye.
Yeah, that was a messy breakup, that one.
Like again, it comes that's one that doesn't matter who's doing your recruitment and retention. That person is gone. He's out. He's done.
He's just
Which
not
is
having it.
yeah, which is the only reason you get rid of him straight away, because you don't want a guy like that hanging around the club, creating issues with other players and then bring everything down, because you know he just wants out now and nothing's going to change it.
Yeah.
Oh, never saw that coming. Number 6 is Benji Marshall.
Of course it is. Could have called that one as well. But I can also agree with it.
He did return at least. Ivan brought him back.
Yeah, about the two good things Ivan did do were bring both Robbie and Benji back for farewells.
Honestly, I do think Ivan was. It's funny, Tigers fans go off about him, but I think he was actually making good decisions.
Except for some of the players he signed on big money.
Yeah, but like you look at
Like
Packer, most
Mbai and
Tigers fans
Packer.
were actually really happy with that. It was just he did a knee injury, and then after that, he was sort of not the same. And then it became a problem.
I don't think too many people were actually that happy with Packer. It's again, it was like with Mbai, it's a value for money thing. We weren't getting value for money from him
Yeah,
even before his injury. He also kept getting himself suspended, which was frustrating as well.
yeah. Like I said, post injury, I get it. It's a lot of money on a guy who's not playing much, but I do remember a lot of discussion beforehand that people were pretty happy with him. So I don't know. It's I think a case of the Tigers had to do it. They had to take the risk reward with those bigger contracts to draw players, as you've seen lately. Like they did the same thing with when they tried to get Latrell Mitchell and
Yeah,
Addo Carr. Like some clubs have to go that bit extra to bring these players over. Whereas Ivan was taking the approach of these journeyman players that they could build on. And then when they left, you would have built a cultural base that sort of worked and you were moving forward. It's just obviously the Panthers thing happened, and then he agreed to come over here at the end of his contract. And the Tigers said, well, we can't have a coach who's going elsewhere in 2 years. So just go now. And then he paid out his contract, and there we go.
Yep.
And then they got Madge, which I guess some people think it was good, some people not. I don't know. It's hard to get a read on what Tigers fans think of Madge, getting him then and now and all that. That's telling.
Yeah, it's different. It's very different.
Because I think at the time it was pretty positive. But there was also a bit of, I guess it was cautious optimism is the way to explain it. Because the way he left South, I think people were a little bit worried.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Because things sort of went downhill from him at South. There was all the talk of him overworking players and their form dipped and all that sort of stuff. And Seaball came in, took the same roster to finals, and at the same time he had won a premiership. So it's like it's such a weird 50-50 thing.
I was surprised that Madge was sacked from South so soon after actually winning the premiership with him.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. That's really weird. It was so quick and so sudden. Seabold must have made a hell of a case for it.
And
Would
now
you have kept Benji if you had a choice?
for this year,
Yeah, instead of letting him go to South?
to be honest, no, I probably would have preferred he did leave, because we do need to look towards the future.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the way it happened, though. I dislike the way it happened.
Yeah, I remember he said himself in an interview that he found out from the media.
Yeah,
I remember
that
seeing it on
was
NRL 360.
not okay.
That's crazy. Like, how do you not have that conversation with the player before, like, any of that? And especially Benji, who, by all accounts, is a great guy, just personally, and has been such a long servant for the club.
Yeah, poured his heart and soul into the club.
Yeah.
Like, he's also one of the club's life members.
Yeah, like, this isn't
Like,
some
that's
reserve
saying something.
grader. Like, that's, yeah, that, whoever did that should get sacked.
I'd say it was either Pascoe or Hadj Pantelis or whoever else is in the club spying on the Tigers for the media.
Someone's enjoying it. Oh, of course. Number 5 is Adokar.
Yeah, why am I not surprised?
Yeah, that one was definitely there.
Let's have a quick bet on number 1. Is number 1 going to be James Tedesco, or is number 1 going to be James Tedesco?
James Tedesco or Teddy? Oh. I don't know, a lot of lists do put Pappenhausen on there. I guess because it's an
Yeah,
easy go because he's at Storm.
I thought he would have been thrown on the Tamari Martin spot, 14.
Well, yeah, that's what I would have done. But I don't know. It's most
But then
likely
again,
Teddy,
this
but
was 2019, and I don't think he played much for the Storm at that point.
yeah, that's right. So I keep forgetting the difference a year makes.
Like, he really had a breakout season 2020. I don't remember if he played too much in 19.
That'll definitely be Teddy from 2019. He just won 2 grand finals in a row.
Yep.
No. Because this is October. So yeah, he would have just won 2 in a row.
Yeah, he would have just won his second.
Blake Austin. Oh, how do you think of that one?
Yeah, no, that one can go away.
That, like, at 4, he failed at the Raiders. Raiders fans hate him.
Yeah, like, no, just no.
I don't understand.
I'd put literally anyone there instead of Blake Austin.
Here's what he says. I know he's not a centre, but he did play there in his time at Concord. Austin was electric for West in his single season there, playing fullback, 5'8", halfback and in the centres, as well as coming off the bench as hooker on multiple occasions. Despite being a rare light and another disappointing season for the club, the Tigers elected to let him go, where he was swiftly picked up by Canberra, and now he's in the Super League. Idiots.
I'd put friggin' Bo Ryan there over friggin' Austin. Far out. Like, that's saying something. Chuck Bo Ryan in the friggin' centres.
Yeah, like he isn't. I don't know. He had 1 or 2 good years for the Raiders, and then went to Super League.
Yeah, and he still hasn't even been doing that crash hot over in the Super League,
Yeah,
from my understanding.
like Raiders fans were not keen on him.
No. Blythe, this list is fucking terrible.
He's got 2 or 3, so he's.
You should be ashamed.
Oh, there you go, Bo Ryan. You got the other centre.
Oh, there he is, actually. Okay, there you go.
So we just ran out of centres and then just picked a name out of a hat. Oh, Blake Austin.
No, Bo Ryan and Kevin Nagama, if anything, would probably be one of the pairs I'd look at.
Yeah.
Like, over Austin and Ryan. That's just a whole bunch of no.
Cora Betty at 2.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, I guess.
Probably not my number one choice, but whatever
Yeah, I mean, you've
floats your
already
boat.
got Jack on the other wing. But I mean, we went to Melbourne and now he's in Union. So sounds more like a guy just chasing the career more than anything.
Yeah,
Goes to the Storm for the exposure, then goes to the Wallabies for the money.
as you do.
So yeah, it's not a bad choice if you can do it. Oh, you were so close. It was James Tedesco.
Oh, I never would have picked that. Not in a million years. Where's my second $100? Well, technically my third because I called Ryan as well.
Sorry, chat. You guys owe Aaron all the money.
All the monies, give it to me.
We'll link PayPal down the bottom. But like, I get making the idea that retention has been bad, and there have been some odd choices here and there. But Tedesco, Moses, and Woods, the club really had no choice.
Yeah, they were all leaving for essentially the same reason.
Yeah. It's like, we're not playing finals, so instead of taking responsibility and helping the club play finals, we're going to go to another team that's already doing it. Good job, Woods, by the way.
I do like to pick on Mitch a little bit there because the first thing he won at Parramatta was a wooden spoon. Like, he played finals the year he arrived, but they went out in straight sets to the Storm and
Yeah.
the Cowboys. And then the following year he won a spoon with them. So that worked out well for you, didn't it, Mitch? And I think in his time at the Storm, not at the Eels, he's played finals, but he hasn't won a final.
Yep. I mean, technically, he got what he wanted. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, if you wanted to play finals, congratulations, but you haven't won any of them. You have a wooden spoon, so congrats.
Yeah, Tigers don't have one of those, so he got to go and win something.
Yeah, he won that a lot quicker too. Yeah, that was we got a little bit of joy out of that, but yeah, like, we were just pissed off that he played Origin this year. We don't think he really deserves it, but oh well.
Well, he Brad beat his way into it.
Yeah, everyone fell over in front of him.
Oh, yeah, basically, they all tripped over in front of him, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll just walk over here then and take my
I still
jersey."
thought they would have gone with the Souths pair who have been there and know what they're doing.
Literally everyone thought that. Like, I didn't, from a form perspective, I guess I could see picking Moses, but it made all the sense in the world to pick the Souths halves who play together every week and have one game to get together. Like, you pick the guys who've already played so many games.
Who already have Origin experience.
Yeah, and they've got combinations with guys like Cameron Murray.
Latrell Mitchell.
What the? That's like, you want to talk about selection blunders. Hey, Freddie, what are you doing?
Cough, cough, Nofaluma 2020, cough, cough. I'll never get over that. I will never get over it.
He did deserve it a bit that year, to be fair. Like, he was having a very good year.
Could have had both the bloody Dally M wingers of the year on the same Origin team. Carve it up.
Well, remember, this is Fittler. He's got
This is true.
interesting ways of doing things.
This is true.
He overcomplicates things too much, I think. He tries to get too clever.
And ends up backfiring and biting him on the ass.
Yeah, it's Not a complicated game. Just do the things that work. That's why Bennett beat him, because Bennett just came out and out coached him. He just picked players in positions and got them to do their job, and there you go.
Yeah, Gutherson in the centres was never going to work.
Oh my god! Don't remind me.
Turbo is one of those players who could probably play anywhere if you wanted him to.
Yeah.
But Gutherson, just no.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna crawl up in the corner over there. Oh,
Yeah,
that was
that was
horrible.
dumb.
Like, even Whiten, I get at center because he's played it before. He's a bit of a bigger body, and his main attribute is his running. But Gutho is not a center in any means.
No, really, Broncos are favourites today.
Don't tell me that.
That wasn't the case last time I checked. When I
tipped
did all my
Knights.
tips, I tipped all the favourites, and I tipped the Knights too. Let me check that.
So what happened? Like, they got some players out, or something happened?
Have the Knights dropped some players out? Maybe they have.
They must, or for the money to have done that. If everyone started swinging towards the Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos $100, $1.71, Knights $2.15. But let me check that on the tipping app. What percentages we're looking at? Yeah, Broncos $1.71, but only 27% have tipped them. Knights $2.15, 73% have tipped them.
Yeah, that's like the game last week. Oh, I can't remember who it was now. And I said, yeah, I went the underdog against who everyone else had tipped based on the percentages. But you said they were the favourites in the betting.
Yeah, that was Knights Titans. It was the first game of the round because we both thought we had tipped, quote unquote, the underdog. You from a tipping perspective, me from a betting perspective.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
Sea Eagles $1.07, Cowboys $9 with a 95 to 5 percentage.
Yeah, that's a big ouch. Poor Cowboys.
Rabbits not heavy favourites over the Dragons, but betting wise, but it's 88% to 12%.
Oof.
The Titans odds have ballooned out now to $1.28 to $3.75 with an 82% to 18% split. And Tigers Dogs, not heavy favourites, the Tigers, $1.45 to $2.75, but 85 to 15% in the tipping.
Huh.
If all those results go to plan, though, Tigers finish a second season in a row in 11th. Does that mean we get a new 11th place meme? What if the Titans finish 9th again? Are they going to start being the 9th place meme team? Because that'll be 2 seasons in a row. That good enough?
Oh, I don't think stereotypes change once they set themselves.
Yeah.
That's it. But it happens. You look on Reddit, we cop the booing thing all the time. One time, the crowd boos someone and it just stuck. Now we're known
Who
as...
was it?
I think we played the Cowboys. Play went down, and the ref let it drag on and on. And the crowd were getting sick of it because earlier in the game, someone took a dive, and I don't know. And they were booing. It turned out the guy was actually injured or whatever. We've seen it happen heaps of times since. But yeah, since then we got stuck with the whole, yeah, we're a bunch of bogans who boo everything. And like, people now act like no other crowd in the whole comp does it, just us.
Oh yeah, totally, because that's how it works, right?
Yeah. NRL fans are actually very classy, just except for us.
Just like no other team in the comp ever finishes 9th.
No, never happened, ever. And don't look it up. Just trust us.
I like I said to you, I think it was earlier in the week. I actually had like I saw over Facebook and Twitter and stuff, people still saying the Tigers are going to finish 9th this year, and it's like, have you even looked at the ladder? It's not possible. for them to finish ninth. Yeah, feckin' idiots.
Yeah, that's a really weird one. I saw some of that. Like, I
It's
don't,
like,
I
oh,
don't know.
don't worry, guys. The Tigers are still going to finish ninth. It's like, no, they're bloody well not.
It's not possible.
I mean, the where they can sit or where they can finish run home articles have the Tigers at the start of the round being able to finish 10th. But even that would require a massive swing in points differential. But it's highly unlikely. The Tigers' best case finish is really 11th. And that's if they win and both the Warriors and Dragons lose, which, based on odds and favoritism and all that, is the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
So 2 seasons in a row of 11th. I mean, it gets us out of the bottom 4, which is where everyone said we'd finish, which would be nice.
Yeah.
Even if just one of those 2 teams loses and we win, get out of the bottom 4, which is at least decent.
Well, I'm predicting the Tigers to get a decent score, so we'll see how they go. I'm always wrong
So
about
have
the
I.
Tigers.
Yeah, me too. At least I don't have stress or pressure of having to win play finals.
Well, that's something. They
I can
definitely
just
seem to play worse when there's a bit of pressure.
watch and enjoy a game of footy.
Yeah. Should be fun. We'll see. We've even got the munchies and everything ready to go. We've got chips and everything. Should be fun. I like watching Tigers games. They always reminded me similar sort of us, the way they play and everything. I don't know. We just need them now to catch up to us.
Yeah, we just need to get good.
Exactly. Get good. But like that rival would be so much better if they were a top 8 team as well. Like, you imagine if we were both top 4, just the feeling and the emotion around it all, that would be amazing.
Yeah, like imagine a Tigers Panthers qualifying final, prelim final, or grand final.
That would go off. That'd
Imagine
be
the stress in the friendship, the stress and pressure on the friendship between you and me if that ever happened. Man, I'm
Uh,
really gonna hate you for a week, but anyway.
the Catbros podcast would be R-rated at that point. A great many swear
Throwing
words.
punches from a distance.
Uh, but no, it would be great. Like I said, I loved our game last year. And that was just a regular season game, like in the first half of the year.
I mean, like even having a Western Sydney, all 3 of the Western Sydney teams, if all 3 of us finished in the top 4, what a
That'd be
final series
insane.
that'd be. Like that'd be an
That'd be
insane final
amazing.
series. Eels, Panthers, and Tigers all in the top 4.
That'd be ridiculous. That'd be cool.
That'd be bloody nuts. I don't see it ever happening but I mean, the one trend with the Tigers in their finals appearances has been they've only ever finished in the top 4.
There you go. See, maybe that's
The,
the
th-
problem. They gotta
the
learn
three
to make the other half of the 8.
the 3 times they've played finals in 5, 10, and 11, they finished 4th twice and 3rd once.
Yeah, so they're either really great or crap. They don't have a
Yeah,
middle ground.
no, unless you consider ninth the middle ground.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. They were definitely sort of there. They had a decent year. They were just off just a little bit. By that much.
Mm.
But then drama. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to go. The wife wants a computer for 1:00. Her brother's having a wedding and it's being live streamed because congrats, COVID.
Yeah, COVID wedding. You attend the wedding via Zoom.
Woohoo! Alright, it's stupid. But what can you do?
Just got to roll with the punches, eh?
Yeah, exactly. We're all just locked up. I'm just glad I can still go to work and that. At least a bit of sanity.
Yeah, a little bit of freedom.
So, what do we got? What's everyone's predictions for the rest of the weekend before we go? Why don't you give us your margins for the rest of the weekend?
All the pressure on my margins. Let me find them. There it is. Got Knights by 10, Eagles by 20, Rabbits by 24, Titans by 8, which may change, and Tigers by 24.
Let's see how that goes. Well, we've both got the Titans, so we'll see how they do. You watch. No pressure, guys.
I know Justin's not here, but good luck, Justin, for your Broncos. Their final
Yes.
game of the season.
Yes, good luck, Justin. Let's see how you go. Broncos have been improving, so we'll see, but my Knights tip isn't massively confident.
Yeah, the Broncos this year have done the Bulldogs of the last couple. How
Yeah.
they've actually started to get better towards the back end of the season and pull off some of those like wins or close losses.
Yeah, we'll see if they can take it into next year, though.
Yeah, which is what the Bulldogs continually fail to do.
Yep. Which is really irritating because we lost to them and then we're like, oh, they're improving, cool. Oh, they just suck and we still lost to them.
Yeah, losing to them in 2019 cost both of our teams.
Fucking dogs.
Tigers
That
by
must be
1, hey Ash.
one.
Ash
Wow.
says Tigers by 1. Okay, well there you go. I'm sticking with my
Interesting.
24.
Yeah, I'll stick with my 20.
We put up a good fight against the Panthers. Didn't get disgraced by any means.
Yeah.
I'll stick with having a bit of faith in them for one final time this year.
Oh, no.
As for you, old Panther, I'll keep you updated on out of the top 3 in this comp, who tips who for the rest of the round.
Yeah, I'm actually following it with a bit of excitement there. It's actually interesting. Like I said, especially having the margins because that adds
Yeah.
the extra layer of difficulty on it.
Yeah, but like I now, looking at the overall scores, just find it. Looking at the overall scores, I now have the same amount of correct tips as first. I'm 1 correct tip behind second, and yeah, and then I have my 8 perfect rounds, my 5 perfect rounds compared to their 1 and 2. That's the reason why I'm up there, because I'm well and truly behind on the margin points. I'm well and truly behind on the bonus points. It's the bonus points for perfect rounds that are literally keeping me in it.
Oh, all right. Thanks for coming, guys.
Enjoy the footy for the rest of the weekend, everyone.
Yes, enjoy your Father's Days as best you can.
Well, can't see my daddies in Sydney.
Yeah, it's so much not fun. Fucking garbage. Hopefully we get out of this fucking soon.
I was able to have a little bit of a joke about it with one of my workmates last night, whose father is also in Sydney. It's like, well, everyone's here shopping for Father's Day alcohol for their dads and everything, and I don't have to worry about shopping for mine a little bit. He can wait a little bit longer. I have no reason to have to worry about shopping for Father's Day because I can't even see him.
Yeah, saving money. Thanks, COVID. But no, I went and when the tax came in, I spent like $3,000 on the car so I could do long distance driving because they live in Victoria. And here we are.
Still waiting.
Still waiting. But no, we'll come out of it. Oh, eventually. We've just extended it. But it's okay. No one minds, right?
Oh wow, there are some people in this tipping comp who have a lot of bonus points, and bonus
Damn.
bonus points are the ones for getting the exact margin. There is one here who's actually really close to the bottom.
They can't tip to save themselves, but they know the margins.
Yeah, so look at this. First, 141 correct tips. Second, 142. Then this one, who is 13th from the bottom, which is 31st position, only has 111 correct tips, but 11.25 bonus points for like exact margins or closest to, compared to first, who has 5.49. And second, who has 5.41.
Yeah.
There's another one who's 1, 2, 6. The player in 7th has 9.07 in the bonus points and 132 in the wins. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14 in the whole comp who haven't tipped a perfect round. So 29 people in the comp at least have tipped one perfect round. And then you've got
Not bad at all.
me with my 5 of them.
He's using hacks, guys. Get on that. Use the mods.
While 3 have tipped 3 perfect rounds. So no one's tipped 4. I've tipped 5, with the next best being 3. But hey, if tipping 5 perfect rounds, maybe 6 after this weekend, gets me $1,000, I will take it.
Who's complaining?
Certainly not me.
All right. Cheers for coming, and I'll catch you next time. Hope people enjoyed it.
Yep. See ya, everyone.